Okay, so I feel really tired and really out of it. I just seems like sometimes it just is so redundant. It's so Groundhog Day. But yesterday I saw this woman. I keep seeing that woman. I had talked about her a while ago. Like I don't know what her nationality is or whatever. She has all really silver hair and she just has this really cool, really defined face. It's just this really cool face. And so I see her all the time and she's always talking about spiritual stuff. And yesterday, in this, I keep seeing these people who keep saying this stuff. It's not just her. There's a whole bunch of them. And I just keep seeing it over and over and over. Like, there's a lot of people who just kind of have given up. Oh, it's all a psyop. Oh, this is it. We're all going to be at the camps. And, we're all, this money thing has got people freaked out. Like, that's going around like, hotcakes. They have whatever it is, their thing that is being read, the plan or whatever. A lot of people are, it's shitty, but everything is to show us where we were headed, how we were, by our own compliance, our own ego, trying to fit in and trying to be what everybody else wanted us to be. And then just to vote somebody in and then just call them our leaders and then not even pay attention to what they were doing. Like all of that stuff, we had to learn what the repercussions were of being that way. And a lot of people are going to learn a really hard lesson real quick about the compliancy with this, all of this stuff that they were told to do, that they just did what they were told, that they didn't look into facts. They didn't look into anything. They just were doing what they were told. And how detrimental it really is. And it's going to be very impactful. Whatever's coming is going to be impactful. But it's also going to be the slap that's going to lead us into the new direction, because everything has to change. But when I am seeing these people and they all keep being like, yeah, that we're all just headed that way, I was just thinking this morning, like, if these people understood reincarnation, if they understood about Earth cycles, if they understood about astrology, if they understood some of these core things, they would see, like, that is not what's happening. That we are ending a cycle. A cycle is ending. That is why we're going through all of this. We're changing into a new cycle. If it was going to stay the same, it wouldn't be just in our face. How could anything stay the same if it's in our face? Like, it can't. But these people are just so stuck in fear and programming and, this is what it's going to be. But you go in and you watch any Armageddon movie and stuff. I mean, that's all they've done is terrorize people. They've terrorized them with the idea of aliens. They've terrorized them with the idea of space. They've terrorized them with the idea of death. All of this stuff has just been to keep people, controlled. So, we have to see. We have to learn by these mistakes, when there's going to be hard lessons. Everybody's going to have hard lessons. And so, I 100% believe the money thing is going to be switching into the good one. But that woman with the silver hair, I saw her yesterday and she was saying everybody who believes that is just, believing in a psyop. Like you just believe what you're told and stuff. But it's not that. It's taking the information that I hear, that I observe, and then putting it into the template that I understand that we're moving into. The template that we're leaving behind, that is kind of like, it will be like a textbook of what not to do to keep a society not controlled, to be free. And it will go through a cycle of that, and it will always go back the other direction, because that is the cycles of life. It goes like that, and that's what a soul wants. A soul wants new experiences. The soul doesn't want to just do the same thing over and over and over. So, it just is a part of why everything exists. And everything exists is like a playful learning center to go and expand, to go and play the parts in movies over and over. It's like, that's all it is. I know I made a cup of tea and I set it down. This is my second cup, actually. I'm tired as shit. Oh, God. I noticed, like, because she was out here on her bed, and I had her so drugged up. Like, she was crying all day yesterday, but this fucking weather, god damn. I swear to God, it feels like it's going in the 30s at night. It is so fucking cold. I went out there this morning to take her. It's so damn cold. I had to put a bathrobe on over. I have a dress on today, and I had to put sweats on under my dress like it's winter. It's fucking cold as shit. I just, oh, and in the moisture, you know, the stuff, when it won't dry and stuff, you know, that moisture, it just sits in her joints. So she's pretty fucking miserable. And so, I just feel like going in the med beds is going to, and oh, it's so funny too, because, you know, she's wearing her necklace and she doesn't like it. She didn't like it. And when I kept showing her, look, and I got hers and I put it up next and I showed her, like, it's the same as mom's. Mom's wearing hers. You got to wear yours. And then she just like, okay. And she lets me put it on her and stuff. And then I told her if she's laying in the bed, because there's 4 on the bed, that she can take it off. But, you know, I just feel like the 12 hours in the 24 unit is going to be really impactful on her health. And then I got that diatomaceous, however you say it, earth. And I've seen so many different people now talking about how important it is to do these parasite detoxes that were also full of parasites. And it's also one of the things that's really causing us to our health to deteriorate. Which yesterday, I just got to say this too, because this was sweet, is the neighbor asked me if I was going to be by myself today on my birthday. Or she said, yeah, if I was going to be home on my birthday or if I was going to be leaving. And I said, well, I'm leaving Wednesday. I'm going to be home. And I said, you know, and this is a big birthday to me because I'm 60. This is my anniversary of my 61 years. And I was born in 1961, and I don't know why, but that just is significant to me. It may be silly, but it feels significant. Like maybe it's my guides telling me, hey, girl, this is your year. So I feel super excited. But anyways, when I told her that, she was like, well, you know, I'm going to have to see some ID or something because I don't think you're over 40. So I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So anyways, and I said, well, you know, I feel good, but it is getting off of the chemicals. It's totally, and I was thinking about this morning, you know, because I do all of the oils and stuff. You know, I might get my hair and stuff, but my skin loves it. Even this morning when I was taking a shower, I was like, man, my skin just feels like, not like a wax coating, but it just feels very, like, healthy. It feels healthy. And, so I was thinking about, you know, how I used to spend a lot on, you know, face products. Like they'd have those $100 serums and shit. And I would get them. When I was a nurse and I made a lot of money, I did pamper myself. I did go get massages. I did go get facials. I did spend money on my products and my clothes. That is what I did with my money and trips. So you know, when I started learning, and one of my friends, she was going and she's a test subject. And at first, you know, I thought, oh, that's a cool thing. You get $80 to go try these face products out. Now, especially, what was it? That Dick and Jane movie, the one with Jim Carrey and, oh, what's her name? I want to say Vera Farmiga, but I just saw her yesterday. They look kind of alike, but no, it's not her. It is the one that was with David Duchovny. I can't remember her name right now. But anyways, she goes and has him test on her. Her face blows up. But anyway, so my friend was going to doing that. And it did happen to people. Like, because I was asking her questions about it. Because it was like, man, that's a lot of money just to go use their products for 6 weeks. And but I did learn, and I know I've said this before. And I think it was when I was talking to my own doctor, that I had said I wanted to get a prescription of retinol or something like that because that was supposed to be the best stuff. And you would put it on and it would just do something to your skin and make the wrinkles, fine lines just go away. But she said, well, I wouldn't do that if I was you because if you ever stop using it, your face ages all that, whatever, real fast. So you can go from, you know, 0 to 10 overnight, you know, like all of a sudden you've aged 10 years or something when you stop using it. Anyways, But I was thinking about all of the different products because of watching Dope Sick. Like, that is kind of what they do with everything, is messes with our chemical, the way things work in our body, and it messes with it too. So there's like a reverberation kind of thing, like, why people's bodies start relying on their chemicals instead of using it stops producing certain things, hormones and shit. So they do all this stuff on purpose, keep us sick. Like, they know all this stuff. So anyways, I've been doing all of those. Like, I made that absorbic acid serum, and I kept seeing it because I started buying natural stuff. And I would see, like, there kept being like absorbic acid serums and stuff. So it's just like citrus. And so then I had seen somebody made it. So I made it, and I keep it in the fridge, and it is, just putting pure absorbic acid right on your face. And so, and then the vinegar, red wine vinegar or whatever, no, apple cider vinegar. There's certain things that are really good for us. So, and then like avocado oil, you can just get it right out of the grocery store. Avocado oil is really good for your skin. And that sweet almond oil, I get that. And so anyways, I just feel like the less consumption of chemicals anywhere on the surface or inside of us, it really does make a significant impact on how you feel. And I swear it does something to our bodies, because like it's crazy sometimes when you can go be around somebody who's your own age and they're like 10 or 20 years older than you. Like I said the other day up there in the food line thing, that some of those people I'm sure were younger than me, using canes and stuff. Oh, I know, like the woman who was sitting, she couldn't even stand. She was way younger than me. And I know it all has to do with the chemicals and the toxins in food, and people just don't realize what they are consuming. And it's making them sick. And they think, oh, I just got a bad model. Everybody else lives like this. No, they've forced people to get fat, and that is really hard on people's bodies. And they've put people's body chemistry all out of whack. So, and you know what I just saw too? Let me get a sip, hold on. Because I saw this lady yesterday, and she was doing a TikTok thing, and she was speaking. She started out like she was speaking to the conservative, kind of judgy people who are against marijuana, saying it's a drug, and yeah, you're just a bunch of potheads, and yeah, just sit around, don't do anything, and stuff like that, right? And so she was saying, yeah, she said the whole thing. Yeah, okay. So she was saying that when she was 16, so she's 31 now, when she was 16, her mom got lung cancer, and it was a grapefruit size tumor in her lung, and she had to go and get it cut out. And so what this girl learned during this whole thing was that the Mary Jane, it shrinks them. It shrinks them. It makes them tumors not be able to grow, and it shrinks them down. There's a whole bunch of benefits. Like, nature knows what it's doing to help us out. And so it can like take a tumor and make it into one cell. It keeps it where it can't grow and stuff. So and I know I talked about this a while ago, because I had seen, when I started watching all of the different doctors talking about everything that was going on, so many got censored and shut down. But when I was going and watching them talking, I had seen one saying that they were doing these studies on the Dovig and stuff. And what they found while they were doing this is that marijuana was making tumors go away. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I had heard him say that. So then I was hearing her say all this stuff. And she was saying that her mom now, it's, what is that, 15, 17 years later or something, from 16 to 31. So it's 15 years later. And her mom smokes a pack of cigarettes a day. never had any cancer come back, but she is a heavy pot smoker. And she always was a heavy pot, or after the thing, probably when she started being sick for nausea, that they would prescribe it before for people who had cancer. And that's when I used to see it, because I used to give it to patients in the hospital. And, that's when I started being like, that's weird. That's awfully strange. So we're giving marijuana pills to people. And and then, they started prescribing them. That was the whole thing behind medical marijuana, was for people who had serious problems. But then they started widening because it helps so many different things. So she said that her mom smokes a pack a day, never has any other issues ever. And she said, and for all you people who think like, oh, it gives me so much anxiety, it freaks me out and stuff. She said that's because when you do it, it brings your emotions to the surface. So things you need to deal with. So there's a purpose spiritually. And that's why I think like the Indians and stuff used to use it, but that brings things to the surface you need to look at so that you can release them. And so that totally made sense to me too. I was like, oh, that does really makes sense, because it definitely, when I very first started smoking, because when I got off of the medicine, off of all the pharmaceuticals, I was on 18. Like that was a big, and I did it all like in a week. I only spread out the ones that I had to wean. The other ones I just stopped them immediately. And then there was some I had to wean. But I bet you within 5 days, I went from 18 prescriptions. So that could have been like 40 pills a day. So 18 prescriptions, maybe, I don't remember how many. And definitely some of the prescriptions were take 2 or 3 a day. So, it was a lot of pills. And then to just stop. And so it was the marijuana is what, because my kids were pot smokers. So they were the ones who were like, well, try this. And I started with the candies, and to me, it was like, oh my God, this is like an acid trip or something. Like, this is so crazy. And it would freak me out. Like I would feel every cell on my body and stuff. But, I was determined to go more natural. And I knew at that point, marijuana is a plant. And, obviously you've got all these people using it. They've got medical marijuana. They've got kids using it for their anxiety. I swear to God, most of the kids who smoke it is for their anxiety, because they get so in their head. Like people are so in their heads, I think. And it is all it was all like done on purpose. It just watching those little kids go out, and they go out all the time and go jump on that trampoline. And I can't get it out of my head when I'm seeing over there to just jump, 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 jump. Like their brains just shaking. And then, thinking about like when they're on a device or something and like, oh, stop, it's not working. Like they don't know what to do with their own thoughts. And then it's kind of, I swear to God, it's got to be doing some kind of brain damage. I swear. I think, in the future, like 40 years from now, when these kids who all grew up bouncing their brains off on a trampoline, it's going to be like, oh, well, now we know. Now we know for sure that you do get brain damage, and it will be consistently getting worse. But, we're going into a time of med beds. So I just think it's going to be something that we're going to find out. Just like before when they said, oh, football players getting tackled nonstop and getting their brains knocked around. Oh, that's no big deal. Well, then all of a sudden they all start getting dementia at a certain age and going into severe brain damage. So many of them killed themselves and stuff and messed up their brains. So I think more of that will keep coming out. But, with that diatomaceous earth or whatever it is. So the one woman who I keep seeing pushing on TikTok so hard, she said got her hair to grow back. I can't even tell you how many people I see talking about their hairs falling out. So many. And so many all go with the natural stuff, start saying, oh, my hair's growing back. So and it gets rid of parasites, like whatever's in our system. And it there was a bunch of different stuff that it does that she keeps talking about because people keep asking her questions. So, and she keeps saying, go in and research. So I went and read about it. But anyways, there could be other things that other people, um, you know, I would say read about it for sure, because I just keep seeing so many people talking about this in the charcoal. And in the charcoal, you also have to get food grade, or I think it's called food grade. But so it's like coconut food grade or something like that. But oh my God, the charcoal is, it is a mess. Oh my gosh. I made like a natural toothpaste. I took baking soda. I took some of the charcoal. I took some oil. I think it was the avocado oil. It could have been the olive oil. But there's also a thing about swishing oil on your teeth is good. And then I put some cloves in it and made a paste, and using that for brushing my teeth. And then just a little bit of peroxide mixed with water. It's like 10 to 1 or something. It could even be more than that. It seems like it's just like a little bit of peroxide and then a whole bunch of water. But that is better for you for a mouthwash. And my mom said that she had an abscessed tooth and she started doing that and it went away. So, you know, and those are all of the natural things, because like what's Colgate going to make off of us if we're doing that? And then all of the dental, all of this whole system is based on us being sick. That's their whole thing, keeping us sick. And it's just this time period, you know, it's this time right now that we're here to learn about. And I think kind of, you know, I think a lot of us were here, you know, for the next part. Like we had to go through this part, but we're really here for the next part, because this part is, you know, it's pretty treacherous. It's hard to get through. And I don't know how much longer it's going to go on. I think something abrupt is coming. And what was that? I've seen some more stuff. I've seen so much stuff. Like there has been such a change in the energy and so many people speaking out now. I keep seeing these people. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, you know, but I've been listening to some of the stuff they're saying, and I started looking it up, and you know, I think that we have a concern. All sorts of people now are like, well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But, and then all sorts of people are, you know, leaving one party, seeing that their party is bullying. So many people are speaking out about like the religious bullies, like they're off the chain, like right now. They think they've got all the answers. Everybody else is just stupid. It's like, but that is going to be very, all of these different things are going to be very impactful. What people have to see in themselves when the energy switches, because they're going to have to see their own ugliness, you know, what in them was being brought up to make them be so an ego, and so like why they couldn't accept what other people said, why they had to be so bossy and bully and stuff like that. So, but there was, let's see, there was another thing I kept thinking, oh, I can remember all of that. And I kept going back over it in my head. Oh, the last night was so weird. Man, it was weird. And I would have awareness of two things at once that kept happening all night. And now I'm seeing other people talking about at night. Like I saw this girl talking this whole long thing about that she was in a battle. She said like, there's a lot of light workers, we're out in the battling together in our dreams at night. I don't know. I felt like I was in some sort of class. And another strange thing too was like when I came out here and I was laying on the couch, because when I was back there, she starts doing these sounds. It's like this whale sounds or something. Like she doesn't want to just cry out because she knows I'm gonna be like, Stella. And so she does these like really high pitched like sounds, and so I'll hear them, and then I'll just lay there. Okay, she's about to start crying, and she's about to start pacing, so I'll wake up. So I came out and was laying on the couch, and then it was like I was, all of a sudden, I wasn't sure if I was sitting in the chair or my perspective of the room changed. It was like I wasn't on the couch, I was in another place in the room. It was really weird. But I keep having so many weird things happen. I keep having these weird things by my heart happen. I keep having just weird things that keep happening. Like I don't know, it could be just our DNA changing and going into this other structure for our body, this crystalline structure. But, you know, when I was driving that one day and I was questioning that in my head, and they said, because I was driving, and they said that it will be just like this. You won't feel any different. It will just be the same. So it's not like we would feel different. But I think that that is part of the reason why we can see through people and see what's inside of them more clearly. And I saw this video the other day. This woman, she was outside and she was tripping out, and she kept showing that she was showing behind her, but you could see through her to see the building behind her. And so many people now with their phones are saying, you know, like, this is weird. It's not picking up the colors I'm showing. These colors are so intense and the phone's not picking them up. And I think it's something with the AI or something. There's something weird about it. And what was also weird, let me get another drink. Hold on. I was dripping down my face. So last night, it was like 9:06, and I was starting to go to bed. And every fucking time when I start to go to bed, Stella starts panicking. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just going to be asleep for a minute. And so she gets up, and so I go, you want to go out and go potty? And it's like 9:06. I'm like, fuck. It's going to be dark and creepy out. So we went out the door, and it was like lighter than it was all day. I was like, how strange is this? This is like, and I look up at the sky, and the sky is like this baby blue. And of course, the clouds are all chemical, so they look kind of pink. So it looks like this baby blue sky with these big pink clouds everywhere. And then I looked over, and there was no sun. The sun was long set. There was no orange, no glowing ball or whatever wasn't over there. But the sky was totally lit up. And all day yesterday, like, I was going out, and there was no sun or anything anywhere. It was just this white glowing sky with these big hazy brown clouds all over it. It looks so weird. And I was like, we don't even need an illumination disc anymore. The sky just lights itself up now. And it has weird lights all over the place. Like, and I know it's the certain chemicals that are in the atmosphere, but they just light up weird all over the place. So when I went out there, then I had to go get my phone and do a TikTok and show the sky. It's like, this is so bizarre. It looks like this bright sky. And then how it got so cold. Like, it's freaking so cold. Like, it feels like it's definitely in the 30s. When I went out there this morning, it was so cold. And I was freezing to death on the couch. Oh my God, it was so cold. I put the heater on. So, I don't know. I'm seeing so many people show the different stuff with the sky. And I just think it is. I saw somebody today saying, well, that's because they said that the sky's closer to us now or further away from us now or something. I don't know. I think everything is falling apart in this whole reality. And yesterday I put on this thing, and it said this comet was gonna it's headed for the earth or something, this comet. And it was live. And so I was waiting for my thing to download, so I had it on my phone. And if you have a video going, then it will stay on and it will download. So I had that video was just going on my phone. So I kept glancing over, and it kept being like, you know, it was a countdown. And I thought, you know, like, they know when it's going to hit. I'm curious to see, like, what's going to happen when this thing hits. Then it gets to 0 and it started back over. Then this morning I see it's still live. It's like, so it's been going live for days now. This comet coming at us. Like, where the fuck is it? Like, that, to me, that has got to be so fucking fake. The firmament is not that far. Like, if those rockets take off, you can see when they can't go past. So, I don't know. There's so much shit that I don't know. But there's a lot of people who are sharing all sorts of footage, too, of UFOs in the sky. Like, all sorts of stuff is going on in the skies. And that's one thing that I keep hearing a message over and over and over. Watch the skies. Watch the skies. Because it is wacky. The shit you start seeing when you're watching the skies. It is weird. Like, things are... not making sense, and it's just going in every different direction. And I heard too, like, I still don't know what's going on over in the East Coast or down south where they've turned off all the cameras. Like, there's no way to know. And but I heard somebody saying that they think that it is also, they're being told alien invasion is going to happen. And I don't know if that was somebody who talked to somebody or if it's just rumors or whatever, but whatever they're going to do, they're going to do something to, to start this shit. Like, something is going to go down. Like, there's definitely going to be something. And I don't know if it's going to be a natural thing. It's more than likely going to be an unnatural thing, but the earth can always beat them to the punch. And, anything could happen, literally. And I feel like that there's just so many people who just are so on edge about that this is just the way it's going to be. Like, we really are only getting $1,000 a month, and we're not allowed to spend it on anything. Like, they're going through the thing and stuff. You're not allowed to, you wouldn't be allowed to shop. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we wouldn't be able to do anything. We would barely be able to interact. Your money is only for you to be able to get food, and you're only allowed to get food if you're being compliant and all this freaking shit. To me, it's all just more of the absurdity so that we can see how really bad. And, it probably is Joe paying his own blackmail debts with our taxpayer money. That's how absurd this shit is going to be. Like, so much just craziness is going to keep coming out. But all of this has to be what we have to see, because it has to impact us so that we really feel the pain, so that we really do make changes in how we want to live. Because it's all been such a manufactured mess. And so many people have just played a part. Like, just do whatever. Like, okay, so, everything's about this piece of paper. And some people will, slaughter their whole family for a couple pieces of paper. So, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people have to learn by this experience. And there's still people who are, just dabbling in the dark. It's like, that is crazy. I don't understand how cut off somebody has to be from their soul to be able to go around and hurt people right now. And, but it's happening. And, those dark souls, they are like lost. They're just lost. It's just is whatever. It's going to be the people who are awake, the people who are, ready for this new earth, this new world, this new structure of life to start. And it is going to be about being independent. So, we're not, there could be communities, there could be towns where, they build a warehouse and everybody goes and works there. There will be just all different places to go. There'll be places where everybody can find their own home, or, just, if people want to be out on their own little farm, go out and just start doing that. And other little farms will build up, and you'll build a community, and it's going to happen naturally. But it's each individual person, each individual family going on the right road. Then you'll begin to cross paths with the people who you're in alignment with. So, I know a lot of big changes and stuff seem scary, especially a system, even though it's so horrible. It's just like, a kid who has been abused by their family their whole life, and they want to move out, but they're scared. Like, how much worse is it going to be? Like, this may be horrible, but I have some sort of protection. I have shelter and stuff. So that's what people are going to have to really see, what independence is. It truly is breaking free from an abusive system. And you really do have to learn to take care of yourself. And it is so much better for the planet when we're all taking care of ourselves, rather than these corporate overlords who were destroying the planet and still are. Like, they're just out to destroy everything. And, I even heard yesterday where somebody was, and this is something that I didn't know. I've only learned this recently by watching TikToks. Hold on. It's starting to get cold. By watching TikToks is that, all of the fruit trees that they planted were all male. That has something to do with the bees and the pollination and stuff. Like, they were doing all of this stuff on purpose because they weren't planting trees that we could be able to just go out and get fruit off of or food off of, because they wanted control of all the food, because there's so much that they do artificially to enhance our food in a chemical contraption or something. So the all of these trees that they planted won't bear fruit, and there's a bunch of different ones, but somebody was talking about their plan is to just destroy all of nature and then to just put artificial trees, which they've already done some. Some of those towers are just, they look like trees. Like, it's, oh my God, it's so hokey. But I guess they want to hypnotize us all so that we just see. And they want to go to totally artificial animals. Like, what the fuck? We're going to be living in, well, it's some sort of metaverse. So it's some sort of like Disney program where you go into It's a Wonderful Life. You have the little kids just singing along or whatever. Those automated things. So they want to just do all of our whole reality like that. Like, oh, let's go out in the forest and watch the artificial deer. Like, oh my God, artificial birds so they can spy on us. Ooh, and so many, oh my gosh, so many people are talking about the mosquito infestation, that you even go out in the evening, you will just get eaten up. And so people started looking it up, and they had put a patent that they are using the mosquitoes geoengineered because they can use them to all of us. So all of those little bites we're getting is manufactured, and I think that is why they killed the spiders. Because if there was a bunch of spiders, then they would be interfering with the mosquitoes. The spiders would be getting fat because there's so many mosquitoes. So whatever they do, they get more mosquitoes, kill off the bugs that will kill the mosquitoes, and then whatever enhance the mosquitoes with the toxin that they want to give us. And I think that they do it with the ticks too. Like, I think they do it with fly, anything that can pass around sickness to us. I think that they've figured out how to use it. So, really be careful about the mosquitoes, because it's not just a regular bite. That one evening when I was outside with Stella and I was standing out there, and I got like 100 bites really quick. And I was like, oh my God, I got to go in. This is insane. And I came in and my legs were just itching and itching. And I went and did an Epsom soak, and they stopped. So, I don't know. I mean, it still got some of the stuff in. But one thing about those things, like, I don't know if they've enhanced their little pointing things to go deeper in, but I don't think they would go deep into our skin. So it'd be more surface. So I do think some of the toxins that they are injecting, you could wash them off, and maybe doing soaking and stuff. I do think it's important for some of these detox soaks, but you don't want to overdo them because you're also soaking in more chemicals. They've got us up against a hard place. And they are doing something to the lakes. I heard somebody talk about that. And it is definitely to interfere with the fishing and everything alive. They're out to destroy it because they don't care. All they care about is the metaverse. They just want us to be helpless, sick droids that just will do anything. And, we're all satisfied with our lives on our devices. So, just put on a little head screen and just live your life sitting on a couch eating junk food, crickets, I guess. Well, I guess everybody would probably lose weight, if all we get to eat is crickets. People will start losing a lot of weight, I would guess. Everything, because how fattening could a cricket be? Like, they got no fat on them. I don't know what the hell. Like, It's so disgusting. Ugh. I just think of like that when you were a kid, you know, and you'd smash bugs, or you would see bugs smashed, like you'd be out with a group of kids. There would always be bugs that would get smashed. I've seen smashed frogs. I've seen smashed grasshoppers. Oh, June bugs. We used to do it ourselves. Like there was so many June bugs, and you could go and poke them with a little a needle through the screen. Like, and they would make this snap sound. Like, oh, so weird. Kids are weird. I guess we're just trying to understand our environment or whatever. But, you know, when you'd see that green goo, it was like pus and green goo would come out of them. It's like, I'm not eating that. I will fucking eat leaves. I'm not eating bugs. That just, I don't like to even think about any bugs that I've ever eaten. Like, it's disgusting. It's so weird too. It's just like, you know, I mean, they want to sell us on eating bugs and everybody's panicking about the food, but they're only going to offer us bugs. And, you know, pretty soon they're going to have it where we're not allowed to eat bugs out of our yard. You know, it's like, we could just go out and eat our own bugs. Why do we need to go and pay for bugs to them? Like, how absurd. How absurd can this world get? Like, there's not enough bugs in our own yard. We got to go pay for bugs now. Like, are you fucking crazy? Oh my God. And there was also, what was it? Something with the bugs. It just crossed into my head real quick. Oh, dang it. Well, I just think, you know, the main thing I think is, you know, people who don't really get, who really think like there's a possibility we could go into this new world where that's going to be our life. However far this is going to go, it's very temporary. It's not going to be our life. It is impossible for that to become our life because this is a changing of the ages. And, you know, I think a soul, you know, your own energy can create its own existence. So if you're dead set on some sort of timeline, that it is Armageddon timeline, you will pull yourself into that timeline. You will focus your energy on it and you will become into that timeline. That doesn't mean everybody else would be there with you, but you would also be the creator of whatever you made that dream into being, because you are the creator of that reality, that dream. So I wouldn't focus on that stuff. You know, I hear the people say it, and, you know, lots of people are so panicked. And like I said, so many people are just stuck on certain aspects of this awakening and don't go further. Some people's souls are pulling them all over the place, and they're just like expansion, you know, and it's interesting to hear some of them talk, especially because people who haven't even understood the world in a spiritual perspective ever, and now all of a sudden, you know, things are opening up to them. A lot of people start feeling like they're going crazy and stuff, but it is, it all has to do with reincarnation and cycles and earth cycles and energy, and how energy has to shift, like the pendulum has to swing back. It can't just keep going that direction. The energy goes back. It is just the movement of all things, all natural things. You know, I think that they got people just so mixed up in how they view the world and so cut off from themselves that they can't really wrap their head around a lot of stuff. But that's why I would say, just start looking into stuff about reincarnation, that and near-death experiences. When you start just reading a lot of stuff about that and really studying about it, you start understanding about soul cycles and what souls are doing, and then start understanding about the earth cycles and these resets and the different ages. And there was a purpose to the different ages. There's a purpose to everything that happens. None of this stuff is by accident. None of it is by coincidence. Everything is very purposeful in the universe, and it is all based on your own learning. So, you know, but that's part of the awakening. That's part of the understanding. But, you know, I would definitely stay focused on positive stuff. And, you know, Amber, I'll say this because I thought this was interesting. And I don't know your whole thing, so I can't say, you might be good to talk to some people. Like, I know witch TikTok, like there's a lot of girls who are really into that energy, that what you're talking about. They could probably give you some ceremonies and stuff, but I don't know about all that stuff. But what I do know is there was this girl on TikTok, and she's this little, I don't know, just kind of like this little Jewish girl, I would guess. And she all has that personality of like an old Jewish woman or something, and she's very outspoken, and she got really popular really fast on TikTok because she was saying, she was pushing people to think, and she's just the cutest little thing. And she got super popular, and she started really interacting with people and stuff. And so I guess she just posted because a couple days ago, I guess she hadn't been posting anything. She was really having a hard time because the spiritual awakening is a hard time. And people are all being faced with it. And people who are popular are faced with it. Everyone's faced with this, what's going on. Nobody's getting away with this or away from this. This is a total expansion, and everybody's soul wants this expansion. But people are just scared of how to do it. So she was saying that she was just having these really weird things happen and these weird synchronicities, and like she felt a spirit around her. She knew that there was a spirit around her, and they were trying to communicate, and she was getting freaked out. So she was just cutting them off. She didn't want to hear them. She didn't want to see them. She just kept cutting them off. Then they started trying to communicate through music with a song. And then they tried to communicate through a visual. There was some visual stuff that she got, and she just kept, having really weird feelings and really, but she kept focusing on suicide. And she kept thinking, this is so weird. But, she wants to help people. She wants to like be a suicide counselor or something. So she was just thinking about like, how important certain things were about suicide and stuff. So it was on her mind. And then she got a call, and her dad had killed himself. And then the dad, I don't remember if it left a note or what it was, but it was the same thing that they told her. The message from the dad was the same thing was the message in the song. And, I could hear it loud and clear. As soon as there was some spirit around her that was trying to communicate, and see how many people block it off. Nope, I'm scared. I don't want to know. They know something's around them. They know something's trying to tell them something, but they're so in fear. They're so scared. Like, why is this being want to talk to me? So they cut it off instead of, meditating, going into a place where you can relax your mind and start talking telepathically to this being and ask them, what do you want? Why are you here? What are you here to tell me? Do you have a message for me? Is it for my better? Is it for the good? Or is it dark? Like, you have to have discernment whenever you're picking up on these energies. And if it's a dark energy, you need to do your own ceremonies or whatever. Some people need more intense ceremonies. Like, I can just do some saging and stuff, but I don't know if they're all removed. I think, something is harassing Stella. Something is attached to her, and I had some weird stuff happen last night with that. And I just got up and just came out and was on the couch. I saw this one guy, and he said that ever since he was a kid, he knew of spirits. So, I was listening to some of the stuff where he was saying, and he said the other night that he woke up, and there was this huge woman at the end of his bed, leaning over his bed, looking at him. And he was like, he said he didn't get scared or anything. He just kept looking at her, and she kept looking at him. And he looked over, and his girlfriend was still in bed asleep. And he said that this woman was like 8 foot tall. She was just huge, and she was bent down, leaning over the bed. And then he shared some sort of thing that he saw. This is so crooked, I think. A couple of days later or something, he was watching some kind of, I don't know, haunting video or something. And it was, I think this woman is called the Night Hag or something. And he was like, this is the woman. And it showed her, and it looked exactly like his picture, because he drew a picture of the one that was over him and then in the thing. And so then that was getting me kind of freaked out last night when I was in bed. It's like, I don't want to see some big old lady like that. Like, but, I do think you got to be like, at this time, you got to open yourself up. Like, that girl was pushing that away. And I think that that was her dad's soul or her guides. Somebody was trying to tell her what was going to happen. Somebody was trying to give her information. And that happens a lot. Before people pass, they'll start going and visiting people to try and prepare them for what's to come. And so don't cut yourself off. Don't be in fear. You don't want to feed their fear. Oh, and he even did a duet with that one video that I was talking about, that one, not a riot, what was that? The big giant protest, the women protest thing, the first one. And it was huge, and it was, somebody was showing from the camera, like they were up filming, looking down on the crowd, and you could see that black thing flying and going all over him and stuff. And he said the same thing, like he called it a demon or a devil, but that is a dark energy that is feeding off of all of the hostility and anger, and all of that negative emotion draws in those beings because they feed off of it. So the most you can do is just keep trying to, don't give them their meal, keep them away, and keep pulling yourself into a positive way of seeing it. And some people are, more under attack than others, and you got to just keep pushing them away and pushing them away, and it would be exhausting. And I don't know, why that would be going on, but definitely for some, people right now, if somebody's trying to communicate with you, don't cut yourself off. Be open to the communication, but also have discernment. Don't be gullible, because there is spirits that are very tricky, and there are ones that they feed off of dark energy. That's how they eat, and that's the ones that you would call demons and devils. But I just don't see them as going into a form and going into a little man with horns. It's an energy. And the more you feed it, the bigger it gets. And, right now, there's so much chaos going on that I'm sure there's some big hefty meals happening for some of these beasts. But you have to, they won't be in the new world because, they don't vibe at that vibration. Like the vibration that we're going to be going into, it is going to be like heaven on earth. It is going to be beautiful and clean, and it's going to be, high vibration. It's going to feel good. It's not going to be like this, sickly and, sad, and watching so many people struggle, and, so much death all around us right now. So, it's a lot to go through. And don't be hard on yourself. Like, this is a lot, and we're all in this together, and we're all having to learn how to regroup, how to survive this, and then what comes next, and how do we move forward. So it's all part of this whole thing. So, and your soul is here for it. So just connect more and more to your soul and be guided by your soul. And, don't fear things, and be open to what comes up. Be open-minded. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.